Vintage Girl Next Door. My name is Lacey, and today we are in the lobby of the historic Mizpah Hotel in Tonopah, Nevada. And I'm so excited for today's video. I'm going to take you on a little tour of the hotel and tell you some of the ghost stories, because this is the #1 most haunted hotel in the United States. So this video is sponsored by June's Journey, and as you know, I've worked with them before. I love June's Journey. It is a murder mystery game where you find hidden objects and try to solve a murder. So I thought, what better place to show you than this hotel where a historic murder actually took place. So I'm gonna take you on a tour, tell you a little bit about the ghosts, and see if we can have any paranormal experiences. The historic Mizpah Hotel was built in 1907, and that was when the town of Tonopah was kind of at the height of the silver boom. And it is 5 stories high, and it was the tallest building in Nevada for 25 years. The hotel is named after a mine, and it is a biblical name that means to come back together with those you love. The hotel stayed open for most of the 20th century, but in the year 2000 it closed down and it was boarded up for 10 years. In 2011 it was purchased and renovated, and now it is kind of back to its old glory. So the stained glass windows, a lot of the light fixtures, the elevator, the clawfoot bathtubs, a lot of the lobby furnishings are supposed to be some originals from when it opened in 1908. And the Mizpah has gained a reputation for being haunted. And in fact, it was recently recognized by USA Today as the #1 haunted hotel in the United States. While I was editing this footage of the tour, there was a lot of unexplained things that I caught on camera, and I will let you be the judge. Most of them I highlighted for you, but some of them, I mean, there's just so much. So there's a lot of little orbs, a lot of little lights. Some of it could maybe be explained away by dust or something like that, but I'll let you be the judge. Tell me what you think in the comments. So we are riding in a historic elevator right now. It's actually the first elevator west of the Mississippi, and the elevator operator, Walter, is said to still be operating this elevator to this day. Here we are on the 3rd floor of the Mizpah, and this is actually the most active floor because it is said to be haunted by 2 children, and they are really mischievous children who love to run up and down the hall. They love to knock on doors, they love to jump on the beds and pull on people's clothes and basically just wreak havoc. So the employee that gave us a ghost tour actually told us a story that she experienced where there was a super late check-in. The hotel was very slow. There wasn't very many people staying here. And a lady checked in to a room on this floor, and she went in and just was trying to go to bed, and she came downstairs about an hour later to complain because she said that the people in the 2 rooms next to her were so loud, and they were just running around and jumping around and being loud, and she couldn't sleep. And so the employee told her, "Ma'am, there's nobody staying in those rooms. Those rooms are empty." And she didn't believe her, and so she's like, "Okay, I'll come up and show you." And so she came up, and as soon as the elevator door opened, and they came into the hallway, and the door to the room next to the ladies was wide open, and it was just dark inside, totally empty. No one was in there, everything was in place, and the lady couldn't believe it, and she almost left right then. She was so scared, but she ended up just like, okay, I'll just brave the night, and she slept with the lights on and ended up being okay the rest of the night. But I thought that was a fun story. And another thing that the kids like to do is play in the elevator, and they sometimes will stop the elevator on the 3rd floor even if the button's not pushed, and that actually happened to my husband while we were staying here. We were staying on the 4th floor, he was going down to the lobby, stopped on the 3rd floor, door opened, no one was there. So maybe we got haunted. We are on the 5th floor of the Mizpah, standing outside the Lady in Red room. So this is one of the most haunted locations in the hotel because the Lady in Red is the most active ghost. Her name was Evelyn. There's a few different versions of the story, but basically she was a kept woman. She was staying in this hotel and living here, and her husband was leaving on a trip and went to the train station, and he had missed the train, so he came back and found her with another man. And so he went into a jealous rage and stabbed her and then drug her out right here into this hallway and strangled her to death. And it's said that when he strangled her, he pulled her pearl necklace off and it broke. And that was one of the things when they were restoring the hotel, that the workers said that they found pearls everywhere in this area of the hotel, and that they still do sometimes even to this day. People report activity up here quite often. People have seen the Lady in Red, or they hear her whisper in their ear. A lot of times when men are riding in the elevator alone, they will hear her whisper in their ear, or they will hear walking, knocking, all kinds of noises, things like that. Super creepy. So I'm going to show you this room right here. 502 is one of the most highly active in the hotel. So as you can see, all of the rooms here are super pretty. This is one of the regular size rooms, and actually it was said that for the Lady in Red, Evelyn lived, all 3 of these rooms were one, and it was just one big suite, and that she lived here. So another version of the Lady in Red story, because it's kind of unclear exactly what happened, but the other version is that she was a sex worker and she lived in this hotel, and there were quite a lot of ladies that lived here in the hotel, and that it was a jealous ex-lover that came and caught her with another man and murdered her in the hallway. So either way, some of the activity also is that sometimes in pictures, people will see a dark spot on the floor right here where she was murdered. And maybe that's the blood stain, that is what they say. And then also lots of whispers, lots of knocking. Sometimes people feel someone touch them or pull on their skirt or dress. So this is the actual spot where it was said that Evelyn was murdered. It's a super, super sad story. When we were doing the ghost tour, my husband and I just thought, gosh, how sad. And the murderer was never caught, and they don't know who it was. So also very sad story. Lady in Red Room is actually a suite and you can stay in it in the Mizpah if you dare. So here we are inside the infamous Lady in Red suite, and look how beautiful it is. I just love it in here. I feel like maybe it would be worth hanging out with the ghost to stay in this beautiful room. Since the hotel opened in 1907, they didn't have any closets. So all the rooms have these beautiful vintage armoire. They're so cool. Another cool thing about this hotel is that it has a lot of the original clawfoot bathtubs. During our ghost tour, we were able to go down into the basement of the hotel, which was very cool, very creepy, and I didn't really get video down there, but I did get some photos, so that's what you're seeing now. And there was some old mining equipment down there, and the basement is haunted by two miners / robbers. So basically they were working in the mine close by and had the idea to tunnel under the Mizpah and come up into the vault, which is in the basement, and that is what they did. And what happened is that one of the miners got greedy and decided he wanted the whole take, and so he murdered his partner in crime. That's why it is haunted down there. And we also got to see one of the original skeleton keys of the hotel, which was very cool. It's on a super thick like leather strap skeleton key. And they also have a really cool kind of museum room. They had an old vault door brought in. And then they also have some of the old uniforms from the Mizpah. That bellhop uniform was very neat, and a lot of artifacts and pictures just from the surrounding area of central Nevada. Another of the ghostly stories surrounding the Mizpah is about Senator Key Pittman. He was a United States Senator from Nevada from the year 1913 until 1940. So he was staying in Tonopah, frequent guest of the Mizpah, and legend has it that he was staying there the eve of the 1940 election, and he actually died of a heart attack that night. But his supporters didn't want to say that he had died until the election was over, so that they could then choose his successor if he won. So they kept his body in one of the clawfoot bathtubs on ice until the election was over, and he ended up winning, and then they could appoint the successor. And the cafe in the Mizpah Hotel is named after Senator Pittman. It's called the Pittman Cafe. As I mentioned, this video is sponsored by June's Journey, and June's Journey is a free to download mobile game where you find hidden objects in beautiful scenes set in the 1920s. It is a murder mystery, so you're following the main character June, and she is trying to solve the murder of her family members. So I love to play this game kind of at the end of my day just to unwind and focus on something else and kind of de-stress a little bit. I have a lot of fun trying to find the hidden objects, but the scenes are just really beautifully done. I will leave my link below if you want to download June's Journey for free and play it with me. Thank you so much for watching. It's a little different than what I usually do, but I hope that you enjoyed this little ghost tour, and special thanks to the staff and management of the Mizpah Hotel. They have been so over the top generous and wonderful to work with, so special thanks to them. Also, special thanks to June's Journey for sponsoring this video. If you are looking to go on a little adventure, maybe see some ghost towns, and stay at this amazing historic hotel, you probably ought to consider coming to Tonopah, Nevada. It was a really fun time, and it's a beautiful place to stay. Do you believe in ghosts? Let me know in the comments if you've had any ghostly encounters of your own, and if not, maybe you need to come stay at the Mizpah and you might have one. Thanks again for watching, and if you have not subscribed already, please do so. I'd love to have you around for more of our vintage fun, and I will see you soon in my next video. Bye!